Hello, it's Debbie of Love and Above, and I'm going to give you an angel card reading for the next week. So that is from Monday the 9th through to Sunday the 15th. I am going to be using the Angel Tarot card deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. I was trained by them both personally when I lived down in England, and they did courses. It wasn't just there was a one-day Angel Tarot card course, but there was also an advanced course as well, and I went on that course, and that course doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, but the information that was in there was absolutely invaluable. It was looking at absolutely every aspect of the card itself, not just a generalized reading. So when I do a reading like this, where it's generally for the whole week for everybody, it is more a general reading. But when I do a one-to-one readings, they're very specialised, and I look at absolutely everything that's going on in the card, including language used, including colours, shapes, specific the numbers used as well on the cards. There's many different aspects, and then sometimes what's written at the bottom of the cards is not actually relevant for the actual reading itself. Now, I do believe it's right in some cases, and I do also believe that it was right at the time that the card was written and it was sent out, but that doesn't mean that it's right for absolutely everybody in every situation, because we are all unique. And I love the setup of these cards because there's so much information just in the pictures themselves. There's so many different things in there. If you have this deck, I would suggest perhaps just taking any card out and just actually looking, maybe note down. This was actually part of my own homework that I was given for the advanced tarot card course that I took, is to just take a different card every day and write down absolutely everything you see in that card. And I will absolutely tell you right now that there's so much more going on in the cards than you actually see on the first glance. So this is why I love using these cards. If I'm ever in a sticky situation, maybe not even sticky situation, just any readings generally, this is my go-to deck because I trained with this deck. I do have other card decks as well. I have over 60, that's quite an admission. I will probably take photos at some point of that shelf in my office that has all the decks on them. But I use them all for different situations and different scenarios where I think, like for example, life purpose cards are great to use when somebody's looking at what direction they want to go in life. If they want to look at a new job, I use life purpose cards specifically for that. Where this card deck, the Angel Tarot deck, will still give me just some generalizations or even more specifics about the situations that people will come up with. But when it comes to more specifics, that's what the other card decks that I have are about. So let me give you this reading. So Monday, we are looking at the Seven of Water. See if I can get that there properly. The water suit is all about your emotions, both what's hidden and what bubbles up to the surface. This card is really showing me that it's all about what is hidden. So this means that any stranger walking past you in the street will not actually be able to see what emotions that you have going on. Sometimes you see people and they just absolutely bubble with joy, and complete strangers, and you walk past them and you think, oh my goodness, that person is so happy, something obviously really good has happened in their lives, and you can see that, and that's what I mean by emotions bubble to the top. Sometimes, particularly in work situations, you can walk past the manager and you can see they're really angry for whatever reason. They might not be angry specifically at you, but they could be angry with a situation that's happened that they're trying to sort out. But you can see, sometimes you can just see those emotions on the surface. But this specifically is about the emotions that are hidden. So Monday, I'm just being shown here that it's a time to just check in with what emotions that you have. It could be that at this time of year you're a little bit sadder than normal because perhaps maybe you're missing loved ones, and you know that when it comes up to the festive period that maybe you just want to spend time with your loved ones, and then there are some that have passed over that you're not going to be able to spend time with, see again, and maybe there's a little bit of sadness going on there. It could be that you're just really joyful, you're really actually just looking forward to some time off over the festive period, so you can actually spend time with the people that you love, that you want to spend time with. Whatever emotions are going on within you, now on Monday is the time to just check in with them, just see how you feel, and just honour as well what you are feeling. A lot of people like to run away from their emotions or just deny their emotions, but it's actually just as good to check in, just to honour them, respect what's going on. So maybe if you are a little bit sad, maybe just like taking a little bit of time out, or perhaps you're the opposite way and perhaps you want to spend time with people that remind you of happier times, or maybe you just want to spend time with happier people just for a few hours, just to help yourself lift yourself. Or if you're in a really happy place, just honour that as well. So this card's really just saying check in with yourself, see how you feel, and take actions appropriately from there. Okay, so for Tuesday we have got life event card, and it is life experience. It's also got number 16 on there, so let me explain numbers to you and life event cards. In tarot there are two separate-ish types of cards in the deck. So one is major arcana and one is minor arcana. The minor arcana, which are the suits, which we've just looked at, is water, they're all about your everyday life. Major arcana are all about life events. Now, depending on which part of tarot that you've studied under or you work with, it may well be that you know it as the Fool's Journey or the Dreamer's Journey. I know it as the Dreamer's Journey. Now, the Dreamer's Journey these numbers start at 0, they end at 21, and then you start at 0 again. Now, it doesn't mean that I pull a card that says 21 and you die the next day. That's not how life event cards work. It's all about the life event that is happening at this particular time in life. So, best example I can give is when a child finishes school and starts university. When they finish the school, they end at 21. When they start university, they start at 0 again. And then when they finish university, they finish at 21. When they start working, start at 0, etc, etc. You get the idea. This isn't a 16, so we're kind of looking at about 2/3, just over 2/3 of the way into this life event. Now, you'll know which one it is within your own life, because this isn't an early card, so it's happening in the background and you may not know about it. This is something that is already happening within your own life. So Tuesday, it's saying that your life experience in this area of this life event will come into play. So you will be drawing on your own experiences to be able to help someone else, or actually just to be able to deal with any situation that comes up. So after that huge explanation of what the life event cards are about, it has a very simple meaning. I just wanted to make sure that you understood what these life event cards were. Wednesday, we've got 2 of air. Now, the air suit is all about your intelligence. This does not mean your IQ. This means that you have stopped to think about something before you act on it. So it could be you've got a decision to make and your heart decides that it really like the decision to be one particular way. But this card is saying that you stop and think about it first before you make a decision. This does mean that the decision that you actually made once you've stopped to think about it can be exactly the same as what your heart has said. So, Two of Air, it's what this is saying is that you're going to come at loggerheads with somebody on Wednesday. It might not be in a bad way, it just means that you have a different opinion to someone else. Now, that doesn't mean that there's a confrontation or anything like that. It just means two different opinions, and this might frustrate you because they can't see it from your point of view, and vice versa. It might frustrate the other person because you can't see it from their point of view. You may actually be able to see it from their point of view, but there's a little bit of loggerheads or knocking of horns, as the unicorns do, or that's how it's shown in the card anyway. Doesn't mean that one is particularly right or wrong, but it just means that you're going to come into a situation on Wednesday, Thursday, Wednesday. It's Wednesday. You're going to come across a situation where you're just going to kind of knock heads with someone. It just means you've got a different opinion to someone else. This might actually just be a little bit of a lesson, maybe not a lesson, but just an understanding, or maybe look at it from somebody else's point of view, or maybe it's for the other person and they have to maybe understand to look at it from your point of view. So this might not actually be for the card specifically for you, but for the other person. So just be aware of that on Wednesday. Thursday, we've got another air card. We have 5 of Air. So going back to, you stop and think about it first before making a decision. So 5 of Air, this is really telling me that there's going to be a few challenges on Thursday. Not huge, just maybe somebody challenges you on something that you completely believe in, or maybe you're the one that's challenging other people, or it could be that for example, you're a runner and you've decided that on Thursday you are going to challenge yourself to try and hit a PB while you're running. Whatever it is, this is all about just taking somebody else on the journey with you. Yes, you're going to be challenged, but perhaps, speak about it with someone and just say, I didn't think about this from a different point of view. Or maybe you do hit that PB, maybe you shave a few seconds off and you're just like, oh, guess what, I actually managed to challenge myself really well today, and I've got to, I've taken a few seconds off my PB. Share that with people. It's all about sharing whatever your challenge is with others. I'm pretty sure that you're going to know what situation that will be when you get into it. Friday, we are back to, it's 5 of Water, so we're back to our emotions again. So this is again about emotions, and this is specifically, the card is talking about what is held deep within you. So no stranger can actually see from the way you're acting, the way you're talking, what is actually being held deep and down inside of you. This card is actually quite a nice card because it's saying that it will show, maybe if you're feeling, like I said on Monday, you might be feeling a little bit sad, but it might not be sadness, it might just be that you're missing someone. This card is showing that there's actually some light coming into the situation. So if you're still feeling a little bit fragile on the Friday, there's a whole load of light coming in to dissolve maybe the more sharper end of the emotion. Where I like to, somebody once described to me that we are all like edges of a table. Very strange how I'm starting this. We're all like edges of a table, and sometimes we just need we need life experience to be able to round ourselves off into who we are. It's like that we're a structure, a piece, a masterpiece of artwork, as it were. And it's all about softening or changing the sculpture, as it were, through our own life experiences. We change as a person at times. And this card is very similar. It's not about changing you as a person. This is just softening those emotions. So taking that maybe sharp edge of the emotion to make it a little bit rounded. So it will be either much easier to deal with, or you're going to find that you're feeling a little bit lighter in your heart or your emotions, you actually feel a bit better on the Friday. So that's something really to look forward to. Saturday, I have 10 of Earth. The Earth card is all about your everyday life again. And when I talk about everyday life, it's about getting up in the morning, paying the bills, going to work, having your breakfast, going to a jive class, is that if that is what you do, or taking the children to various different areas of what they do as well, maybe a trampoline class, for example. So that's one meaning of the Earth card. The other meaning is just a time of study. From what I can see here in this card, on Saturday it's all about your everyday life, and specifically spending time with the people that mean most to you. So most people naturally would think of their families, which is cool. So this might be the indication that you need of, do I want to do this one thing on Saturday, or do I want to spend time with the family? This is the nudge to say spend the time with the family. You'll find it more, from what I'm seeing with this card, is that you're going to find this more rewarding than you normally would do when you're spending time with the people that you love. Perhaps you don't have family, perhaps you have friends that, or perhaps you don't live near family and you have a friends network, and perhaps that's the time to, maybe this card is indicating that on Saturday next week you spend a little bit of time with your family or friends. I started off with family, but yeah, it could be that you indicate that maybe you want to try and meet up with some friends on Saturday, perhaps just for an afternoon coffee, maybe just for a walk in the park, maybe just to discuss a book that you've both been reading. Whatever it is, this is saying spend a bit of time with the people that mean something most to you, because you will be more rewarded than normal just by spending the time with them. Sunday. 5 of Fire. Your fire suit. We have had a card from every area of life this week. So from that viewpoint, it means that next week your life will be quite balanced. It's a nice balancing off week. It doesn't mean that you're pushing one way or another. It means that there's every aspect's being covered. So the fire suit is all about your passion. It's what you live for. It's why you wake up in the morning. Doesn't mean your 9-to-5 job unless you absolutely love your job. If you're an entrepreneur, most entrepreneurs absolutely love their job. There's probably a 1% where we all have bad days, or entrepreneurs still have bad days. It's not always this happy place, but it doesn't matter where you work. There's always a little bit of stress, and there's also a little bit of you can have a bad day. People who do love their jobs tend to be in higher management, because that's why they're there, because they love what they do. For others, it could mean spending time with family. For others, it might be crafting projects. For others, it might be meditating. For others, it might be self-improvement. For others, it might actually be just getting into nature, exercising, whatever it is. Whatever your passion is, you will know. This is saying that Sunday is the time just to have a bit of a look at your passion. Now, if there is a little bit of a challenge there, that's what you're specifically to look at. What is challenging at the moment, and how to get past it and how to get around it. You will get some insight into this, or you will be able to do this, get past a specific block that's happening at the moment, or be able to pinpoint exactly what you need to do next, so it is not as challenging. So Sunday, that's what this is all about. That is your reading for the week. I will be in the next week putting out a card reading for the whole of next year, so that's January through to December. If you would like a card reading from me, it is £30 for 1 hour. If you want I can do it in person, I can do it via Skype or via video call, or I can do it via email. And if that's the case, I always give people a week to come back with questions, because you can't ask those questions at the time that you normally would do when you're getting a face-to-face reading. I will see you all next week. Bye bye.